Hello everyone, welcome to today's presentation about our new loading editor. I'm Volkan Agut and I have been working 11 years in Prota Group as a civil engineer. I'm currently working in Prota Polska, which is based in Warsaw. Here is our agenda today. I will briefly talk about who we are, what we offer, and main advantages of our solutions. Then there will be a live showcase about our new loading features. In the final part, I will take your questions. ProtaStructure is a unique platform that can integrate modeling, analysis, design, detailing, fabrication, and BIM processes, which allows you a seamless experience in a single solution. This helps our users to deliver their projects rapidly with a single software. ProtaStructure consists of different modules coming in a single package. We have ProtaStructures, which is a core system for modeling, analysis, and design of your structure. ProtaDetails is a complete CAD system for automated detailing and drawings. It focuses on concrete detailing and includes a unique design library of calculations such as retaining walls, piles, pools, steel scaffolds, and pile caps. ProtaSteel complements steel design by automating all the steelwork connection design, providing comprehensive steel detailing and automated connection design of your structures. There are drawings and calculation reports within this technology. And finally, ProtaBIM. ProtaBIM allows you to connect with other BIM tools that you are using, such as Allplan, ArchiCAD, and Revit. You can even share the analytical model with SAP and ETABS. We have been expanding all around the world and covering 25 international design codes, 9 languages, from Polish to Spanish, and of course English. As you see in this map, we have an amazing user base using our software technology from America through Africa, up into Europe, across to India, and of course into the Southeast Asia. As you know, there are several software solutions worldwide to offer these services. Our core advantage is that ProtaStructure Suite offers these necessary features in a single suite. So let's talk about our new and flexible loading system. You can use the new interactive load editor to apply additional loads in any orientation and load case. For example, you can now apply horizontal loads on the beams along their lateral axis. In addition to this, point and uniform loads can be manually applied on truss joints and truss members. You can also visualize the loads in the structure in 3D. So, you can now assign loads on members in any direction and any load case with the help of the new load editor and visualize them in 3D for better inspection. ProtaStructure 2022 can now assign manual loads on truss joints and cord spans. So now we will talk a bit about lateral soil loads. You can use this feature to assign the soil loads automatically regarding the selected code's geotechnical principles. You just need to select the soil load button and then you can fill the required parameters to apply these loads. Other loading features are automatic height adjustment for infill wall loads, detailed load profile for infill walls with openings, roof live load and snow and rain load cases. We can now automatically distribute rip slab loads during the building analysis. You can insert a user-defined vertical load cases and you can specify whether user-defined vertical load cases will contribute to seismic masses or not. Of course, you can copy and paste all these loads in the loading editor. So let's see all these features in action. Now I'm going to open my sample model to introduce all these features, and for this purpose I'm going to double click on ProtaStructure to open the software and select my sample project in the welcome page. So now I'm going to open my sample project, which is demo sample 1. Okay, so let's just click on it. Okay, now the project is loading. So before the loading editor, I will just go to the building analysis and select the load combination editor. Okay. So in the loading combinations, we have a loading generator, and you can create all load cases and combinations with a single click here. I will just mark the necessary load cases and load combinations in here. So let's just you can also add motion loading if you want, if it's required. Then let's just click to the OK button, and all loading combinations will be ready to use. So now you can see that all these combinations are prepared for the analysis, and you can use all these load cases in the loading editor. Now I'm going to add my custom load case, which is a vertical load case. So in here I will just select the add button, and let's just click to the add button in here, and then I will add the label and the description of it. So let's say that we have an equipment load, and let's insert the description as an equipment. It will be a user-defined vertical load, and I would like to include it in a seismic mass as well. So I just mark this option, and let's click to the OK button. Okay, so now the equipment load column is ready for the coefficient. Okay, and now I would like to add a new combination. It will be third combination, the new one. So in here I will just relabel it. Then I will change the load coefficients as well. Okay, so let's just adjust the load coefficients. So I will just insert 0 for QR, and I will remove actually a couple load cases as well, for example SG. Okay, so let's just click OK button after completing these coefficients, and now I'm going to go to the first story's loading editor. To do this, you can double click on the first story, then go to the loading tab and select the load editor for story 1. First, let's activate the full screen. In the loading editor, we can filter members and loads as well. For instance, once you click on the beam button, all beams will be hidden in the editor. Using this feature allows you to review the loads better. You can also do the same for loads as well. You just need to pick these buttons over here. Now I will insert my beam wall loads using the wall load button. You can set the wall load parameters that are shown on the left side, and I'm going to select the 10 cm brick wall from our library. Of course, you can also add your own wall load type to our library. Openings can be inserted as well. Now I'm going to add an opening for a window, you can insert width, height, and the position of the opening by X and Y parameters. After the opening, I will define the wall height by selecting this button, which refers to the extraction of story height and beam height. You can also insert your custom wall heights by H-start and H-end parameters. Then we can select the all beams by boxing around them to insert the wall load at once. If you want to change any part of the wall load, you can filter the loads and edit as you wish. You can see that it's been replaced with the 20 cm brick wall. Soil load is a really handy feature that can calculate soil loads automatically on the shear wall surfaces. After we select the soil load case in here, then we can click on the soil load button and pick the shear wall surface like this. In here, you can just fill the parameters such as spectra type, ground type, soil profiles, like in here, surcharge loads from here. And regarding to these parameters, you will see the results. If you just click to the OK button, the relevant load will be inserted. We can also select this load and right click. I will just copy this load to the other shear walls which are located on the perimeter of the building. So let's just select the other shear wall, right click and select the paste command. I will do the same for the other shear wall. Now let's try other loading options for frame and surface loads and insert them in order. Before inserting a point load, I'm going to select the JIT load case again, then click on the point load. In the load properties, load direction can be inserted laterally as well. So I'm going to click on the direction and use the global Y option to insert a lateral load. Let's specify the exact position of the load by insertion pane. Once I change it as 20%, the load will be inserted away from the starting point as much as 20% of the beam length value. So let's just add the load and you will see the point load in here. Let's continue with the full uniform load. This time I will use the gravity direction to insert the load. After I select the beam, the load will be inserted and visualized in the load editor to review them easier. Partial loads are being used in a similar way. Only the difference is you can specify the position in the insertion part from here. So let's just pick the beam and you will see that partial load is already inserted. So let's add the trapezoidal load similarly. For this purpose, I'm going to click on trapezoidal load, a bit zoom away and select the beam that you want to insert the load. Of course, label direction insertion part can be adjusted from here. So after frame loads, I would like to introduce surface loads to you. First, let's a bit zoom away and we will use the relevance lab for the load insertion. So now I will continue with the point load. In any grid intersection or in any point, you can just click and point load can be inserted. Of course, direction, magnitude, and the other parts are similar in the frame load, so I will not mention it once more. So you just need to pick a point on the screen and point load will be generated. So the next one is uniform load. You can just pick 2 points on the screen and the uniform load will be inserted. You can specify the magnitudes, start and end positions from here. Let's do the similar way, for example, 55%. And please note that these values are percentage of the span, 60 to 75% of the span. Okay, if you just hit to the update button, the relevant adjustment will be shown on the screen. So after uniform area load, we can talk about wall loads. You just need to draw a wall load on the slab surface. Any kind of wall load type in our library can be selected. You can implement your own wall load type as well to our library. Height of the walls can be specified from here, and insertion can be determined via insertion part. For example, on the start position might be on the middle of the slab, so I will just insert a 50%, and it can be also from 25% to 75% on the Y direction. So then as you see, it's been updated on the screen. Then let's talk about full uniform area loads. We need to specify direction as gravity first. Of course, any load case can be selected in here. Then we just need to pick the surface and load will be inserted. Rectangular uniform area load can be inserted as well. For this purpose, we just need to draw any rectangle on the slab surface, and the software will generate the load like this. Of course, the same load properties are available for the rectangular uniform area load type. So the next one will be polygon uniform area load. In this load, you can draw the edge of the load, and when you click to the and when you right click, it will be inserted. And variable surface loads is exactly the same with the rectangular uniform area load, but the load can be specified for each edge of the variable surface load. Lastly, I would like to talk a bit thermal loads. So let's hit to the escape button and select the thermal load case. We have two options. You can just specify it for particular member with the first one, but I will use the batch mode. Okay. So T-axial means, for example, if you have seasonal records of the temperatures, you can just insert the difference, maximum and minimum difference to here. T2 and T3 gradients are only available for surfaces. I mean, if you have a big temperature difference between the surfaces, you can use these options. So let's insert, for example, 10 degree for all members. Okay. So if you want to have a report of them, you just need to pick the report button, and then for example, let's select first story. Okay, then we can quickly create a report that includes all these inserted loads. So we have such a detailed report like this. Okay, and let's click to the OK button. Of course, on the plan view, if you have a DXF layout, you can also draw your loadings from the slab load part, okay, point, line and area loads. For instance, let's insert the magnitudes and we can draw along the DXF layout like this. Of course, any point load or any area load can be inserted as well. And lastly, I would like to talk about our automatic wind load calculation feature. You just need to pick the wind and story load, and in here we have a wind load calculator. Okay, you can fill the relevant parameters in here: basic wind speed, wind pressure, hill height. Okay, terrain category in here. The software will automatically calculate the loads. You will see this in the report, at the end of the report actually in here, and then we can apply to the each story as you see in here. So let's talk about the analysis part, and we can analyze the building and review the results for the relevant load cases. By the way, in the version 2022, we have made significant improvements, and now the analysis duration has been decreased. You can quickly design your columns, shear walls, and beam members. So now the analysis is almost completed. Let's just wait a bit more. So now what I can do in here, we can go to the post analysis, select the display analytical model. So for example, under wind load case, we can see the displacements, for example, on the X direction. Okay. Generally, I prefer to filter a story. For example, let's select fourth story, and we can review the lateral displacements under this load case, or you can activate the diagrams and select the load combination. For example, this one, okay. And axial loads or shear forces can be determined from here. So let's continue to our presentation, and then I will take your questions at the end of the webinar. Our licensed users of ProtaStructure Suite do not only benefit from our software technology, you will also have access to our comprehensive and dynamic Prota Help Center, where you will be able to browse through our collection of knowledge base articles. You can create unlimited support tickets to get help from Prota support team. You can view previous tickets and follow up their status. You can also ask questions in community forums and easily share information with other engineers. We also have been writing a lot of white papers, so take a look at that. You can actually access some of them on our website without having to getting in our help system. You will see that there is a large number of technical papers to guide you on variety of topics such as punching checks, seismic forces, retrofitting and column design, a lot of insight through what we are doing. Also check our YouTube channel. There are a lot of interesting content that are delivered in a range of different languages. We periodically introduce new videos, playlists here, and webinars that are presented. Please connect and contact us We are able to own all platforms of social media, whether you are using LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We are there. You can keep up to date with a lot of developments we are making. If you're interested in any of these technologies you have seen today, please contact us at protasoftware.com or globalsales@protasoftware.com. We would love to hear from you, love to get your feedback. So thank you for your attendance. Please let me know if you have any further questions. See you in our next webinar.